Is Isle dying? No. Well, yeah, kind of, sort of. I'll explain. To a lot of veteran players, Isle is getting a bit boring. This isn't anything new, as I know a lot of people were still talking about this when we were waiting for the Isle 9 update. 8 months ago, which was before Isle 9 released, Marui, yes, I'm talking about Marui again, I know I mentioned her in literally every Isle video I make, but bear with me here. Marui held a poll titled, "Is Isle getting boring?" And 3/4 of the vote said yes. I think this is because most of Marui's viewers are not newbies to Isle and have done most of the things that there are to do in the game. Personally, I was feeling this burnout too. With Island Legend 3 completed, Isle was down to its core, which is unfortunately a walking simulator. Thankfully, there was a new update just within reach. The Isle 9 update was going to be the biggest one yet, and the teasers looked promising. New locations, new guns, and a new stand system. And then it came out. Okay, so this part is going to be my personal experience because I don't know how other people reacted when the update came, so yeah. When the update came out, I felt overwhelmed, probably because I'm a content creator, but I'm going to be honest with you for a second. The YouTube algorithm is really demotivating. At the time, I was really feeling like I was trapped in a YouTube loop where I had to upload or my channel would die. Thankfully, I don't feel like that anymore, but I was scared that I had to make a video on Isle 9 because that's what I said I would need to do. Thankfully, I don't feel like that anymore, but I was scared that I had to make a video on Isle 9 because that's what I said I would do previously. But to be honest, I just didn't want to play Isle. The massive amount of exploring I would need to do was really scary. So, I didn't do it. I think that was a good choice. I probably would have gone insane making that hypothetical video. Occasionally, I still play Isle to see if I could get back into the hang of things, but whenever I do play the game, all I find is a soulless walking simulator devoid of any personality. And I think I know why. I believe I have the reason as to why Isle quote-unquote died, and why I have hope it could revive itself. To me, the reason Isle died was because of the Isle 9 update. A lot of people have had similar experiences to myself where Isle 9 killed the game for them. And I'm not just saying this, I did a YouTube poll, and I know it was 12 votes, but hear me out. And the majority voted that Isle 9 was a disappointing update. The same thing kind of happened in Marui's Discord server, which if you're not in, do not join, for the love of God. Trust me, do not join. Where a lot of people unanimously decided that Isle was boring, that they were going to try and play the Neighborhood War, which was basically a flop as well. But hold on, here's where I think Isle 9 is actually a good update. I think the fault that they made was releasing it in 2 parts. And I don't mean to brag, but I did vote against that, so shut the fuck up. I think Isle 9 was going to be kind of a complete overhaul for Isle, and releasing it in a mix of Isle 8 and Isle 9 was a bad decision. The game changed too much and yet too little at the same time. I think they should have released only parts of the game that would have worked in Isle 8 that were coming in the 9th update. Things like the Pig Shack, the new weapons, and the Hangarscape were things that could have definitely still worked in Isle 8. Things that I don't think would have worked mixed in with Isle 8 is stuff like the boss fights with bugs that are female? What? Seriously, why did they add this? It doesn't fit the game's theme at all. But alas, they did not release the update like this. This is also the reason why I have hope that Isle will revive itself though. I think with the release of Part 2 to the update, the game will finally balance itself out and people will come back to the game. But we'll have to see. There is one thing I wanted to mention that I couldn't fit into any other part of this video. Isle, statistically, is not dying. Its player count is still consistent with around 300 players at any given time. I just think in terms of people who've been playing the game for a while, the game is dying. In the end, there is a chance that this death of Isle was inevitable, even with the Isle 9 update. People get bored of the game no matter what, as long as you give it enough time. I forgot to record an outro. Bye.